Okay, so we actually recently got an interview from the creator of Naruto, Masashi Kishimoto. He talked about quite a few different things in the interview. He talks about Naruto, he talks about Boruto, relationships, his own personal life, and a lot of other cool things. So we're going to read the interview and we'll talk along the way, give my thoughts, and just kind of analyze exactly what he's going on about, especially one thing in particular regarding how he opened up the Boruto manga. So Team Jump had a blast at Jump Festa 2017, aka the biggest Shonen Jump party in the world. We bought exclusive swag, attended special panels, and even got to meet our favorite manga creators. Editor Alex Kirsch had a chance to sit down and interview the legendary Masashi Kishimoto sensei. Shonen Jump asked, how has your life been since the conclusion of Naruto? Did you get to go on your honeymoon? Kishimoto sensei said, yes, I've been taking it easy. I did get to go on a honeymoon-like trip, but it was in Japan. We went to see Mount Fuji. I hadn't actually seen it properly before. Also, we had another baby, so that's kept me busy. Yeah, if you've been following me for a while, I used to joke about, hey, when is Kishimoto finally getting his honeymoon and gonna get it in? So he finally got the goods. Kishimoto finally went in and had an awesome honeymoon. So I'm proud of you, bro. Like, and another baby too. Congrats, dude. Yeah. As the original creator, how does it feel to read Boruto every month? I am separated from it, but I check over each chapter as it's being made, so I'm still part of the team. Because I'm still involved, I can't really look at it from a fan's point of view, especially since the current story is still adapted from the movie script that I created. So pretty much he's not really heavily invested into the Boruto manga, seemingly. It's kind of like, hey, okay, you finished 5 pages, let me take a look. Okay, looks good, carry on. There's nothing really like what he once was doing, working day and night when he was serialized with the weekly Naruto manga. So it's kind of like, that's why the guys that are working on it now have their own leeway, because Kishimoto's just really looking at it from time to time and nothing more. He's not really sitting in the studio with them for hours on end and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's cool that he's still involved, but it's definitely nothing like him being, in charge of everything and taking control. Can you talk about the differences between Naruto and Boruto as characters? Naruto moves without thinking and he's kind of unrefined. He's like a classic rascal. As for Boruto, well, I wouldn't say he's lazy. He's more refined than that. It's more that he knows all the shortcuts. He's crafty. He's more mature in knowing how the world works, and Boruto is the more sarcastic of the two. Naruto's more straightforward. He yells what he's feeling. That's a big difference. So it is interesting to hear from his point of view exactly what type of character Boruto is, because if you've seen the movie, which I'm sure almost everybody by now has seen some form of the movie, whether it's the movie or the manga or however you've witnessed that content, you've seen that Boruto knows more or less what's the right thing to do, and he knows exactly which way to take the shortcuts. And we've seen in the film, for example, that he, could have used that mechanism to do things, and he actually did do it, but he didn't really have to because he is kind of skilled. So he's basically smart and he knows which way to go, and it's just a matter of will he do it or not. And I also like how he kind of, analyzes them and says, well, Naruto will be straight up like, Naruto will say, I don't fucking like you, and Boruto will probably say it in a weird sarcastic way. So it's showing the dynamics and the differences between the two characters. Sometimes when a manga series introduces the children of the main characters, they end up being clones of the original. Was that something that concerned you? Yes, it was. Part of it is that if the characters aren't similar, if they aren't a little clone-like, it can be hard to express who they are. And I have some who are pretty much clones. Shikadai is a lot like his dad, and some of the new characters are a combination of their parents, like Chocho. With manga, sometimes you're gonna get archetype characters like that. So that is interesting that he acknowledges the fact, because let's be honest here, some of the new generation, they are clones. Like, and perfect example that he pulled out, that's the one that comes to my head immediately, Shikadai. That is pretty much literally Shikamaru when he was that age. He's lazy, he looks almost identical to him. So I'm glad that at the very least Kishimoto recognizes that, oh shit, there are some clones, and it seems as though he's coming across like it's unavoidable. It has to happen, because especially when you have a large cast of characters and you're going to see the children of all of them, that some of them are going to come out like that. And even though I don't like the Chocho character, and we went through that road in the 10 chapter Naruto Gaiden and all that stuff, at the very least I can respect the fact that it's taking both traits from the parents and making a new character. With Shikadai, while I like Shikadai, essentially I like him for what his father was. So it's not really that I even like this character in particular. I like who he was when he was his father, in a sense, when they had the original idea for it. So I'm kind of like, I hope, even though he knows that these characters are kind of like clones of their parents, some of them at the very least, that throughout the journey of Boruto, they can change and grow and, and go in different paths, so to speak, than their parents, because if not, again, then they're just identical clones. What can we look forward to in the upcoming Boruto anime? As it went along, the Naruto story kept getting more introspective and darker and darker. So for Boruto, I wanted to be a little bit more happy and fun, something that the younger boys and girls can enjoy. but the beginning of volume 1 shows some really dark future developments. So definitely it seems as though the interviewer is kind of saying, hey, whoa, we remember those 4 pages, bro. What were you talking about right there? We remember. That's true. I wanted the start of the manga to be happy, but I also wanted to show that there's a dark turning point coming in order to grab the reader's attention. So it seems as though he's basically, in other words, trying to say that one thing is he wanted to start it off with a bang and get people to give a fuck, because let's just say we started off straight up with the recap of Boruto, no one would give a slither of a fuck up. Nobody would even talk about that first chapter, to be honest with you. At the most, they would have just said, oh, recap, whatever. It was those 4 pages that made people have some hope that, holy shit, one day in the distant future, when we get past this boring ass recap, we can actually get some interesting stuff. But again, that also conflicts with what he's saying about wanting it to be happy. So I'm imagining the first journey, when we get past this whole, flashback and recap and stuff like that, isn't going to immediately jump into the dark shit that we've seen in the first 4 pages of, chapter 1 of Boruto. I'm imagining it's actually going to be really chill, maybe some missions, and it might get a little bit dark here or there, but I don't think it's going to get anything like what Naruto was, especially towards the end of the war and things like that, until very late in the Boruto story. And that's probably why he started off with that. Again, what he said is that there will be a dark turning point at some given point in the story, but for now it's just going to be some simple missions, maybe some development with the characters and things like that. What excites you about creating a new series like Boruto? There's a lot of characters that haven't shown up in Boruto yet, so I'm excited about the drama involving them. I'm kind of curious what he's talking about. Is he talking about new characters? I mean, because all we've seen of new characters was, again, the first 4 pages we saw that Kawaki guy, so is he referring to that and the drama that's going to happen there, or is there going to be even more characters that we don't know about? That's actually really exciting that he's hinting that there's going to be a lot more characters, or he could be referring to reoccurring characters from the old series that haven't shown up in Boruto yet. Maybe he's talking about Orochimaru, even though we did technically get Orochimaru at the very end of the film. The very last shot you see, Orochimaru is looking down on Mitsuki and Boruto and them, so hopefully when Orochimaru comes back in the picture, it gets really exciting again, because I always look at the original Naruto, and I always think one major thing, it wasn't until really the Chunin exams where personally I know a lot of people, they love the Zabuza stuff, and I did enjoy the Zabuza stuff, but I wasn't hooked and 100% into Naruto until the Chunin exams with Orochimaru. I think Orochimaru is the villain that really dragged me into the series and got me addicted and hooked. So when he shows up in Boruto again, depending on what his character is like now, because, this guy, he's just too hard to understand exactly what is his role and what is he trying to accomplish. Ultimately, it'll probably get better and pick up even further once he shows up. What about for a completely new series? As for a brand new series, I don't worry about having to surpass Naruto. Hold on, contradiction. I do remember him saying that he was going to surpass Naruto with his new work as well. He wants to make it even more popular than Naruto. So contradiction there, buddy. I do remember that. I made a video on that. I never expected Naruto to become this popular, so I figure there's no point in worrying about that. But for my next series, I'll have the all know-how and experience I gained from doing Naruto, and I don't really think of myself as some great person for having created Naruto or anything like that. Yeah, a lot of haters will say the same thing. They'll be like, Naruto, what the fuck? So there's no pressure for the next one. I can't forget about Naruto, but worrying about it accomplishes nothing. I just need to focus on whatever I'm working on next. That's a great mindset to have, to be honest with you. I mean, at the end of the day, he recognizes Naruto isn't the greatest piece of literature in the world or anything like that, and at the same time, people are gonna think what they want to think. I just need to focus on myself and make my story the best way I can and keep on going. One of the more popular manga at the Viz office is Naruto Chibi Sasuke's Sharingan Legend. What do you think of the amazing gags that Taira Sensei comes up with? Just to note, I read it, it's alright, it's kind of funny, but yeah, that's weird that at Viz office, that's the big popular thing that everybody's reading. Like, what are you guys doing up there, Viz? There's some, better shit out there than to just look at a gag Sasuke manga, just saying. Yes, his gags sometimes seem a little too mature for kids. I thought that might have gone a little too far with the Hidan stuff, but I appreciate how he comes up with the ideas that I never would have. Reading that series makes you feel that Taira Sensei really loves Naruto. Yes, he's a former member of my staff. If you notice, he gave almost all of his staff members the continuing series. So whether it was, the side stuff, like the Naruto SD stuff, he gave it to one of his staff members. And then for Boruto, his longtime Ikimoto guy, he was like, yeah, you can do Boruto too. So you can tell Kishimoto actually cares about the people that he worked with. It's like, I'm giving you this series, you can do that spinoff, yeah. Plus, I told him he can do whatever he wants, so I hope he goes even crazier. It would be nice if he could keep it more kid-friendly, though. Sometimes I'm surprised he could get away with some of those scenes. Which, honestly, now that I think about it, I wouldn't be surprised if they do similar to what they did giving Rock Lee his own anime. I wouldn't be surprised if Period does a 50-episode Sasuke Chibi anime as well. Like, yeah, expect that in the future. I'm just saying, it's a huge possibility. Then a big question that a lot of people are buzzing about. Was Naruto and Hinata getting married decided early on, or did you consider Naruto ending up with Sakura? This is where the fandom freezes right here, and the Narusaku fandom goes, oh, he better fucking say what he... When I introduced Sakura, I only considered her as another character. I didn't bring her in as a special female character. She was at the same level as characters like Kiba or Shikamaru, so there was nothing set in my mind at all about Sakura and Naruto being a couple. Obviously, they'd be friends and teammates. For Hinata, I decided pretty early on that they'd be together. Narusaku fandom, I just had a fucking encounter with a fucking crust fuck on Twitter about a week or two ago that was obsessed with that shit. He never intended for Naruto and Sakura to end up. He early on wanted Naruhina. Shut the fuck up. Thank you, Kishimoto, for clearing that up. Oh, ForneverWorld, you don't gotta be so fucking cruel. What the fuck, man? They're fictional characters. Then I figured it'd be more interesting if Sakura would be in the middle, creating a messy love triangle. But to be honest, there wasn't much space and time to include stuff like that. Naruto's a battle manga, not a romance story. You have to decide what to focus on, what you think the readers want to see. So I never thought about making them as a couple, but I did throw in some nuggets to make the readers think that. It was all about Naruto and Hinata getting married from an early stage. So pretty much, Kishimoto, in other words, said, I trolled you motherfuckers. You might have thought maybe possibly Narusaku. No, motherfuckers. Early on, I knew it was Naruto and Hinata, so I guess you can't completely blame the fandom when the author is essentially saying, yeah, I trolled these motherfuckers. I gave them some little nuggets here or there, but ultimately I knew what the fuck was gonna happen. So yeah, he trolled you guys. Do you hear this? He trolled you guys. Accept it. You came to NYCC a few years ago and got to meet and see thousands of your fans. How did the experience affect you? I never have gone abroad and experienced that kind of reception, so it was really special to me. I heard from so many fans about why they love Naruto, and the reasons were because Naruto isn't perfect. He has hurdles he needs to overcome, and he always keeps trying. I realize how people in Japan and abroad think about things in the same way. That really assures me when I think about my next work. Where you're from doesn't make any difference. We all feel things in the same way. We might use different words and have different customs, but at the core, we're all the same. So I don't have to worry about how different audiences will react to my work. Honestly, I really enjoyed reading that interview. It kind of gave me a little bit of perspective. I mean, for starters, the biggest thing again, Naruhina was set in stone from early on. It was never going to be Narusaku. He pretty much trolled you guys. Also, he is still working on his new work. You know, obviously he's planning things. He's thinking about it, but at the same time, he's not overthinking about it, and he's not comparing it to what he did on Naruto. And also the whole thing regarding him starting off the manga with the death of Naruto and Sasuke, that dark beginning of the Boruto manga. Pretty much one of the big things was he wanted to let people know that shit is going to get dark at some point. It might be happy, even after we get out of this movie recap shit. It might be a little bit campy, but eventually we're gonna have that Shippuden-esque deal where things is gonna get really dark, and we can look forward to that as fans. And overall, this was enjoyable. I love getting these interviews. Let me know what you guys think. Favorite bit of the interview? What were you most interested in? And are you looking forward to Kishimoto's new work and his work on Boruto, even though he's not that heavily involved? But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.